Hello YouTube, this is Waynisha Smith and I am doing a review on Sleepy Hollow Season 3, Episode 18. This season was, let me just say, not my favorite. This is not my favorite season. Season 2 was my favorite season. I know I've been saying this season was great, but it started out good and now it's just going bad. And I'm not sure this is the season finale or this is the last episode of this season, but I'm disappointed. I really am disappointed in this season. Let me start off in this episode of why. This episode is called Ragnarok, and basically Abby and Crane, they are leaving the catacombs, and they send Betsy Ross go back to her future, and Abby is having half of her life force sucked by the box, and Crane closes the box. I'm just gonna jump in why I didn't like this episode. This episode, the god creature person was killed by a gunshot. He had half of his power gone, and he was killed by a gunshot. I'm sorry, you're supposed to be a god. You shouldn't be killed with a gunshot. You're supposed to be healing right back after that. Wolverine was tougher than him. If you're going to take the license, the title of a god, if you're going to make a creature, your person a god, he should not die by a gunshot. I don't care what the situation is. He should die by some super sword or something like that. Make it cool. And on top of that, he didn't feel like a god. He brought down some clouds and made a rainstorm, but that doesn't feel godlike to me. I wanted people in Africa to feel it. I want people in China to feel his power. I wanted them to be on the brink of losing, and they had to do everything they can to save the world. And we lost the coolest dude ever, but on top of that, we lost Abby. I'm not cool with losing Abby. I don't see me watching this show without Abby. And because it's not like Abby was a background character, like the show wasn't just about Crane and then Abby. No, it was about Abby and Crane. They were both equally big part of the show. They were both equally stars of the show. I don't see myself watching this with just Crane. And that's what makes me so upsetting, because this show is my favorite show. Like I'm trying to decide, if I stop watching the show, what else am I going to watch? And the thing is that when shows like this that are my favorite, they make big moves like this, when they kill off characters that I like, I struggle whether or not if I want to watch it anymore. And that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I would have kept watching if I just lost the captain's son. Like, what's his name again? Corbin's son. Yeah, I would have kept watching even if he was gone. But Abby, she was the second. She was the star of the show, the top star with Crane. And I don't see myself watching this anymore without her. This might just be my very last review of Sleepy Hollow. That's just it. Like, I would have kept watching even though this was a disappointing season. Yeah, it was, because her husband didn't feel like a god to me. He was supposed to be a god, and she was supposed to be, I don't know, a witch. She did her job well. She was supposed to be a witch. I brought her as a witch, whatever she was supposed to be. But let me just get off the negative for a second and talk about something positive about this episode. We got the Headless Horseman back. The Headless Horseman is by far one of my favorite monsters of this show, and I love him dearly. I just love it. Like, when I saw him, I was just so happy. And I might just watch if he comes back next season and be there, because it's not Sleepy Hollow without the Headless Horseman. And I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm seriously struggling rather than not if I want to watch Sleepy Hollow anymore. I know I always recommend this show to my friends, but I no longer recommend this show to anyone now because of that drastic change of Abby. I'm going to give this show a chance when it comes back. I think it might come back October the 1st. And if it's still good without Abby, if the new person they brought is just better than ever, and if they fix their monster situation, then yeah, I might watch it still. And when I say when they fix their monster situation, if you bring in another god and he's not doing godlike things like affecting people across the country and stuff like that, then I don't want to watch this show anymore. I'm tired of having my monsters. Bye.